Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be discussing delivery and postpartum, and I know we have a lot to say about that. Yes. Everyone has one or two things they've been through, and we'll be discussing that today. We'll be sharing our experiences with you, and would also want you to share your experience right there in the comment section. So I think I'll start with you, Fumi. I know you have a lot to say about this.
Exactly.
Before Fumi talks, we have a guest.
We have a special
guest. Oh, yeah. We have a special guest here.
Special guest in the house.
We have Yinka's daughter. Yeah. She brought down the roof, so we didn't have a choice than just to feature her in this episode.
Yeah.
Joys of motherhood. She really wanted to be part of this. Because she's quiet now, you can tell. She really wanted to be part of this.
Yeah.
And it's okay. It's okay.
So today we're 4 months.
I mean, it's good to have her here.
Baby girl. Yeah.
Okay. So delivery.
Yeah.
So I've had 2 different deliveries. So would they say the natural one? So natural birth and I don't know, what do they, and CS.
I think I would say,
is that the word?
They are both natural.
They're natural. One is just called.
So
yeah.
So because
what terminology, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's vaginal delivery.
Okay.
Vaginal delivery. Yes.
Okay. One is vaginal.
Parental guidance. Vaginal delivery and cesarean section. Yeah. So I've experienced both. My first was vagina, and the second and third was CS. Cesarean. And it was with the first, second one, you know when you, oh God, yeah. Let's get into it. I just don't want to remember, but I can remember. You know when you start contracting and then they induce you into labor and then you're contracting from 0 or 1 to 10, right? And then you get to 10 and then the doctor is like, oh, let me just check you and see the position of baby or what. And then the next thing she says, you can't push. You know that pain. You know you have that urge of you want to pull. Mm-hmm. And they say you cannot push.
Why can't you?
Why can't you push? There was a cord round baby's neck.
Oh my God.
Guys, the pain, it was another level. I had to hold the urge to push.
Did you have epidural?
No.
So how were you able to hold it? I couldn't have been able to.
It was at that point that they had to start shaving me. Because obviously they couldn't do the CS without shaving you. So they shaved me. I was holding on. They were begging me, if you push, you're going to kill the baby. Because the cord is around the neck, right? Ooh. Guys, I had to hold on. And that's when CS happened. So imagine going through the 10 cm, the whole contracting thing, and then
I don't want to imagine
at the end of the day go through CS. Wow. That was the second one. The third one was we knew it had to just be CS straight away because of the health condition I had. So delivery, I've had it up, I've had it down, I've experienced everything. So the postpartum, with the first, I would say it was kind of okay, because there was nothing really much aside from breast engorgement and things like that. I dealt with that a lot. But, hey, the pain after CS. I don't know if they talk about it, but that pain. It got to my brain. I went to heaven and came back. That pain. With the fact that they can't even press your tummy, you have to be careful. I know for my sister, the thing popped open, so she had to go back in for them to sew it again. Mine was pretty okay. It healed like it should and everything. But the pain, the recovery process, it's not easy. I'm sorry. Normal delivery, it was pretty okay, but vagina. you see that CS recovery.
She's bent on down. They are all normal.
They are normal.
But
vaginal delivery.
My sister, I'm sorry, but that CS recovery was a lot.
Okay.
So many things you can't do. So many lifting. Sometimes you'll say carry your baby in this way. And then don't have cough. That period.
You just brought back memory. You just took me down memory lane.
There was one that I had cough that I'll hold the pain. You hold your tummy like this because you don't want is it incision? They call it to open up.
Wow.
Nah, that post, it's a, I don't want to use the word messy, but it's messy, oh. Very, no, it was a struggle. Second, I had help. Third, I didn't have help. So imagine having to do all those things, lift baby, change diaper, do all of those with that and having to heal. It's a whole process.
Well, I would say, I'm a strong woman. I've been through hell and back in this life. My first delivery, I was angry at my mom because I think she didn't do justice to the teaching she gave me. So when I got there, it was another level of pain that I wasn't expecting. For my first, it was vaginal delivery for the first. For the second one was I was in labor for a very long time. And then my hemoglobin level, right, was low. So they had to transfuse me while I was in the, it was that low. It was that low. So they had to transfuse me. And then at some point the baby stopped. They couldn't feel the movement. So many things happened. And then the consultant wasn't available to take the delivery, even if it was going to end up in CS.
Okay.
So I was only left with the midwife in the hospital, and I paid a lot in the hospital. So I'm telling you, it was such a pain. At some point, I had to start praying, and then they what's that thing that I forgot? It just went off my head. Yeah. They had to induce me because at that point the baby wasn't coming. So they gave, I don't know what that tablet was. They inserted the first tablet, and then the baby the contraction wasn't coming, and then the midwife came again and inserted the second one. By the time she inserted the second one, I ran mad. I fell, I rolled from the bed to the floor, and I landed on the floor with my tummy.
No way.
So I was really scared. I thought something had happened to the baby. And immediately I went from 4 cm. In 15 minutes, I had my baby. And I had cervical laceration. All the blood, 2 pints of blood I had, everything just came out again. Because they couldn't even get to suture the cervix well. And then during the process, I had hemorrhoid, because the pushing was so hard. Wow. So it pushed out the hemorrhoid. It was a lot of pain. Oh, I don't want to remember. The recovery was crazy.
The recovery is something.
And then my mom, being a businesswoman, she loves business. So I already know that if I give birth, she's just going to do 3 days, and that's the maximum she would do. After 3 days, she's gone back to her business. My mom-in-law, as at that time, she had sabbatical leave. She was on sabbatical leave, and she was in Osun State. So she couldn't take another leave because she was having a sabbatical at Bowen, and there was nothing she could do. So she only came for 1 week, and then she went back.
Oh my God. So
I was left with a 2-year-old and a newborn baby. Wow. And my husband was a banker.
Oh God.
He had to go to work very early. He would leave home 4:30. And then the process, I couldn't use the washroom. So every time I feel pressed, I would just sit down and be crying from the hemorrhoid. It was so painful that when I feel pressed, I would sweat from top to bottom and be shaking. So it was a lot of pain that at some point I developed a high BP because the stress was too much. So someday I realized that I just kept menstruating. The blood flow didn't stop. It got, from red it gets to pink, and then it goes off like that. That, is it called local?
No, I've not heard.
I don't know. That blood that comes after delivery. Yeah. But for me, it kept flowing. It was flowing so much that I was using about a whole pack of
blood. Locum is usually not a lot. So.
Yes. So I was like that I bled for about 4 months.
What?
Yes.
This is actual blood.
It was actual blood. I mean, when I sit down and I stand up, the thing just drops. Oh my God. So at that point, I had to start dealing with anemia. I started dealing with a lot of things. And then coupled with the fact that there was no help, I didn't have a job. I was just at home dealing with myself, my baby, my 2-year-old. I had to take him to the daycare in the morning and then go back to pick him up. And then it was like I was running mad. You know, I woke up someday in the morning and I asked God, I said, God, why did you make me a woman? Why did you do this to me? This stress is just too much. Why would you make me go through all of this? And then I still have to deal with my health. I had to deal with high blood pressure. It was a lot. But you know, at some point I had to pick myself up. Because I'm not someone who likes to be idle. So at that point, that was when I started learning makeup on YouTube. How to say, I just don't want to sit down there. I started learning how to make wigs. I started learning how to import hairs from India, from China. So I just wanted to occupy my mind. So that was what happened with the second baby. But with the third baby, it was here in Canada. I was so happy. And I didn't want to go through what I went through then. So I just opted for epidural. I was like, epidural. I'm not going to feel any pain, you know?
Yeah.
And then by the time I got to the hospital, I was on 6 centimeters. And then I asked myself, 6 centimeters, 4 centimeters. Do you still want to take the epidural? Or you just want to go through it? And then I remember that pain. I told the doctor, I said, please, can I take the epidural? And she was like, at this point, it's like risky because you're already 6 centimeters, right? She said, you can't do it. And then I told her, I said, then you don't want me to have this baby. And she goes, oh, why not? I'll get the anesthesia. And then she came, she injected me. Immediately she injected me. The push just stopped.
Wow.
I wasn't contracting anymore. The baby wasn't moving. And then I was there for 10 hours.
What?
And then after 10 hours, they were like, at this point, the baby is tired. The baby isn't moving. The movement is so bad. And you also are not doing so good. So we have to wheel you
into theater
for cesarean. Immediately, I was like, why not? Immediately, please. And my husband was still like, oh, babe, are you sure? But boy, we know day Nigeria. Sign this thing. He was like, oh, I'm still... I just told the nurse, I said, bring it. I signed myself. You know, in Nigeria, you still have to, you have to get someone to sign for you. But here, you just have to sign for yourself. Yeah. So I signed and I was like, okay, let's go. Let's get in there. And then I did it. I thought that was the end of the pain. And immediately after the CS, guess what happened? That was when I laughed. That was why I laughed when you said, just don't have a cough. So I asked for ice while I was lying down. And then the ice went through my windpipe. Oh my goodness. You don't want to imagine what happened to me. I couldn't cough. I couldn't talk.
You were literally like choking, but
I was choking.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
And I could not move. And then all I saw was tears were just dropping. And my eyes were just going popping. And I could literally feel the veins in my eyes. And I was going mad. But you know, I think I still kind of enjoyed that process. Compared to what I went through for the second. Oh God, during that delivery, it was so painful that I started screaming. I said, God, my child that I'm about to give birth to is not going to have this kind of pain. You know, because I didn't want to say something bad. So I just had to start praying into our future, into our delivery, because, oh God. I can't keep saying this because I'm going to take the whole of the day, right? So I'll think.
So just imagine, just Fola going through this. Imagine what people like ladies all over the world like. Each person will have like different experiences, and I can imagine what it is. That is. Or is it even the
effect of epidural? That epidural we're talking about that helps you relieve the pain. You know there's side effect afterwards.
Actually,
because for me it was migraine, very bad one. I cut my hair in the hospital. I could not. It felt like they put something on your head.
Sorry, guys.
Not deal.
Just give me a moment, please.
For sure.
That's fine. Go on.
So you were saying something. Can you remember your line of trail of
about
thoughts?
epidural, like
Headache.
About
You cut
the
your
headache.
hair.
Yeah. So with epidural, like I think the 2 times, which is the second and the third, because they obviously have to give you the thing, the whatever at your back. That headache is of the devil.
It's of the devil.
It's of the devil from the pit of hell. Like Jesus, severe punishment. That's what that thing is. Like, you know when you come out of your hospital room. This is for my second, and I was looking for scissors, and they're like, "What do you need scissors for?" I said, "Bleed." And they're like, we can't, like, we're thinking, is something wrong with this woman? Like, what's good? I said, if I don't cut my hair, like, I can go mad. It was that, no, epidural was, it finished me. Then, do you want to even talk about the back pain?
Yeah.
Afterwards, I don't know if anyone got it.
I didn't feel
Oh
any
my
of
God.
Sorry,
that.
guys, I can't relate. I didn't have
No, that back pain, like
Did you
till
have
now,
epidural as well? No,
it's
I didn't
so
have any
bad.
pain.
What epidural does to your back? My back till now
But then again, that's
has
the
not been the
thing.
same.
It's different for
Everyone.
everyone.
That's
That's
why some
why
people don't
what
have
we
any
go
effects
through
at
as
all.
women.
Yeah.
Like, if we have to sit down and talk about like, it's like women go through so
A
much.
lot.
Yeah.
Like, imagine your experience, another person's experience.
Yeah.
Like, women, man.
I cut cap for you.
He said, "Cut, come."
Salute. Because
Because the
what?
thing is, I had the epidural as well, but
You didn't have any.
it was just not severe, but just a bit of back pain. Nothing.
Oh my God.
I didn't have headaches like that.
I
The
didn't
back
have,
pain has
I
not
didn't
left
I
you.
didn't even have headache. I didn't have back pain. I didn't
Oh,
have
wow.
anything. I was told not to carry anything heavy. But then
Yeah,
you want
for
me
sure.
to breastfeed my baby. And then my baby was weighing 11 pounds. And you don't want me to carry anything heavier than 10 pounds. Please, what was I supposed to do?
Take out 1 pound from your
To reduce it,
I'm
right?
sorry. My back is still going through it.
No, do you know what? I
Yes.
can relate with that, especially with I'm just like 5 months postpartum at the moment. Like, my back
Oh God.
this time around and my knees.
yes.
Oh.
The knee
My knees,
one,
my
yeah.
knees.
But whereas
yeah.
with my first, like,
was
I'm
fine.
sorry, nothing happened to me. I just
Lived
it
life
just
normally,
I heard that. Oh, I'm sure, I don't know if anyone else knows about this, but apparently when you need to do the number 2 after you've had a baby, it's quite tough. That some people have to use I can't remember what it's called. There's just something that you have to use to kind of soften it so that it can come out.
Stool softener. Yeah.
I can't relate. I did it. Everything just went back to normal for me. That was with my first, but this time around, it's been different. I would probably say more on an emotional aspect of it.
Okay.
Like, my emotions are on a high. Do you understand? Like, I'm expecting it to be how it was in my first, but unfortunately, that's not the reality of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I'm just like, I love my kids so much and everything, but my emotions are just everywhere. Sometimes I ask my husband, like, I have moments, like I told you guys this week already, that I had a moment and I was like, what is going on? I'm like, am I going to remember how to do my job again? Like, I have these 2 kids, I need to look after them. I love them to bits, but my body just feels like it's been through something and is struggling to gradually get back to itself. Like, I physically can feel it. Do you understand? And my emotions just feel like they're on a high, all the time. I get emotional very, very, very easy than I was, before. And I'm always comparing it to
the first.
my first. And I'm like, it's not the same. And I'm pretty sure there's other people out there that you might even have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Each delivery, postpartum journey has been so different. But there's a lot of things we can talk about in postpartum. Like, for me, I would say, like I said already, this time around, it's been more emotional. So when I hear some things about some people going through postpartum depression and stuff like that, I can kind of see where it's stemming from and like, things like that, and just looking at myself like, how am I going to get back into the mood of things? Like, sometimes I wake up and I don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't, like, I know I have things to do. My husband is always encouraging me and stuff like that, but I feel like he can only understand to a certain extent himself. And it's not because he doesn't want to understand, because he's giving me what he has already, right? So, but for me, it's just it's emotionally, it's been a lot for me. Like I've had moments when, the first couple of weeks where I was just crying. Like I was crying so badly, like, and I'm asking like, why are you crying? What's wrong with you? Like, why are you crying? You just you know. So the emotional aspects of it, it's
even going back to work, like after having a baby, I'm sorry, but I struggled with having to take professional exam after having kids. That for me personally, I've asked myself questions like, what's going on? Like, I need to do this, I need to do that. Like, how do I get to that point after the kids or after having a baby? It's been so difficult for me personally, like having to do that professional development, like do stuff for yourself, you know, as a career woman.
And it's not like you don't want to do it.
And it's not like you don't want to do
really
it, but you're just in between that. How do I do it? Or even when you start, like, I'm not even concentrating as I should. Because my mind is drifting here and there. Like, how am I able to put it together? Like, how do I do this? I've struggled, and I'm still struggling with it. This is us being vulnerable about it. I even sometimes feel like my, not intellect, but like, I'm not use the word smart.
You're thinking someone
like removed. Like maybe before kids, I was smarter than I am now. I don't know if anyone has felt that, but
like it was a minus from your brain, right?
This is a real vulnerable moment here. I sometimes
we're laughing, but it's real.
Like I can relate. That's why
you were more brighter before than you are now. Like these things were things that were easy for you on your job before, and then now, I'm still struggling. Let's just put it at that. Like I'm like.
But for me, that shouldn't be an excuse for you not passing your certification.
What is wrong with you?
Did she say she didn't pass?
I didn't even say I wrote. I didn't even write it. What is it?
I'm just trying to be on your neck, right?
No, but it's just the different stages after having the baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, the funny thing is, it's different for everybody. That's the thing. For some people, some feel smarter. I'm not saying I have seen any. I'm just trying to say it's funny how life is. Like, you know, like you see people on this side and then you see people on the other side, right? Because with most of these, if you notice, I'm not saying much because a number of these things didn't exactly happen to me, right? You know, I feel like my own tears were like normal because I didn't have. You could relate to my own. Mine was from a place of, I don't have enough help at the moment. I'm stressed. I'm tired. Well, it wasn't more than that, right? So it's like different for the experiences are so different. And the thing is, like Yinka was saying about feelings and emotions, sometimes people can drift into depression. And it's important that we know and understand, you know, when postnatal depression starts to set in, right? Some people call it perinatal depression, but it's a mood disorder that affects women. Some people have it even when they are pregnant. Right. So please, guys, once you start to feel from the little that I know that, you know, it starts with some of the symptoms, so we can share if you know any, but I do know a few. I know that some would include feeling of just blare, like you're not happy, you're not sad, you're just like there. More like emotionless. For some it's like feeling of really sadness, like you're just so sad. Some are just so sad, some are just negative, like it's the negative feeling, like pessimism, more like I would say, like you're just not there and losing interest in things, conversations. You can just sit around people talking and you're just not interested. You're just drifting away. For some it can be as bad as suicidal. Like, you hear people say, I almost threw my baby away because I was just overwhelmed. I was sad. And that's why these days, doctors will ask you, how is your mood?
They ask that a lot after your...
How are you feeling? How is your mood? But please, guys, just share. However you feel, be open with your... Yes, talk to your doctor. If you feel a certain way, please talk about it. Postnatal depression is real. You will think, for some of us, we are going to say, we cannot have it in the name of Jesus, right?
When it hits you.
Postnatal depression is not a respecter of anybody. Once it hits you hard. Right? So please,
just get help.
Yes. You know,
get the right help.
Exactly.
The right help.
And if men are men, please, our spouses, please please be
Don't
there.
leave your
Thank
wives
you.
to the hands of
Thank
your
you
mom,
for
of their
being there.
moms.
Continue to be
there for them.
Please, because they need that support. Remember, Yinka mentioned that, her spouse was always encouraging her.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine if you didn't have a spouse who would encourage you. Or if you didn't, you just feel that way, like you're crying. At least you can say, to some extent, he helped with you.
He did, yeah.
While you're crying, he can help. Like at some point, you stop crying.
When
It's
you don't
okay.
even know
My husband says,
what are you even crying about?
And then some
you
men
don't even place your
some
finger
men
on
are
what you're
just not
crying about.
patient.
Yes.
And some men are just so very, they are 100% traditional that they leave all of this, their care, the emotions, everything, they leave
Some
all of
them
this
will
help
say,
into the hands
you are
of their
crying.
mom.
After all,
You are
our
crying.
moms, we're already pounding yam after 2 days or after 3 days.
And some will say, do you feel better now? After like 2 minutes. I'm hungry. Can you make me something to eat? Come on.
Can I have tea?
Yeah.
And then they end up messing up the house again. They clean it up, they mess it up, and you're going through a lot already.
Shade.
It can be.
So truly, we cannot overemphasize the importance of having a supportive
spouse.
system.
Yes.
Please, spouses, be there for us.
Yeah.
We
Don't be
need
too
you.
busy. Sometimes it's not even about the money.
Exactly.
And sometimes we just want you to listen.
Because some would even say, "Oh, what do you want? I'll send you money. I'll send you." And there was a time I was just seeing money in my account. My husband would just send money. He send money, and I'm like, one day I told him, I said, "I don't need your money, man. Stay at home with me."
You know? Yeah.
Sometimes it's not
honestly,
about
at
the
that
money.
Time, that's what's important to you, because some other person would say, I even want to see the money. Like, that money, let me see it. But honestly,
the money that you can't even spend.
Exactly.
Because you don't even have time to spend it.
You can't even spend it.
Yeah, you're having to deal with your mind, with your emotions, with your mental health.
But recognize who told me money. Sorry,
before he sees it now, it says
but
money.
Money is important, babe. Money is important. Take notes.
Give me the
important.
money.
Your card.
Sit with
Thank
me.
you. But
send me the money and just sit with me and hear me out. Right?
But the truth is, recognize your spouse. Listen to them. Listen through their cries, whatever it is. Listen through it. Pay attention to them. Show care. Yeah. In the little things. It doesn't have to be a lot. Yeah. Love them.
Unconditionally.
Just these very little things would help ease, the postpartum process of every woman. There's no woman that doesn't love the care. Thank you so much.
Mama, we see you, we hear you, we love you. If you're dealing with anything,
want to be there for you, right?
Just know that everything is going to be fine.
Yeah. Thank you
just
so
a
much
matter of
for
time.
joining us.
Yeah,
Till next
it's a matter
time.
of time.
Yeah.
So till next time, guys.
Subscribe, like, share, comment. Would love to hear from you.
Your feedback is so important to us.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye again.